Good journey, everyone. Welcome to Space Oats Live, a Star Wars podcast. I am the Crucial Crew member, and we are here to talk about what else? Star Wars, right? Ugh, amazing. Always talking about Star Wars. It's great to be able to just sit and just think about Star Wars stuff and things to talk about. And tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about something that was announced not long ago in this galaxy, as well as go through some fun little video games that have been re-released as of late. Actually downloaded it yesterday and started playing a little bit. Going back because I used to play this game when it first came out on PlayStation. So it's had a little bit of an upgrade. So far, so good. Loving going back and playing these old games that are getting re-released as fan favorites. So it's pretty cool for that. So we'll talk about that. We actually talked about that one a couple months ago when the announcement was made that it was going to be released. But now that it is actually officially out, I'm going to give you a little bit of review on the gameplay and how I like it so far. Also, we are going to dive into a little bit of comics. We got some fan favorite characters coming back and some stories connected with other stories that maybe there's a little bit more backstory to certain characters meeting that we've learned in recent animated series. So get ready for that as well. And then, of course, it is a new year and springtime is, but not too far away. And what happens in the spring, usually every year, is the Power of the Force campaigns that Disney Lucasfilm likes to push out with new merchandise. And we got first kind of official release for the Power of the Force season. And then a little bit of hints of maybe what's to come this year with some of the things that we were excited for with certain anniversaries and all that are coming up. So we'll dive into that a little bit as well. I did put up there on the chat, what is your favorite Ahsoka Tano moment? There is a reason for that. There is a reason for that because not long ago in this galaxy, January 29th, 2008, was when it officially was announced that there would be a Padawan by the name of Ahsoka Tano who would be joining the Star Wars cast. Cannot believe this. Just under 20 years ago, that Ahsoka Tano was first arrived on the scene in the Clone Wars animated movie, presenting herself as the soon-to-be Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. A lot of people at first weren't really sure about this. I actually wasn't really sure about this at first. But now, look at the love we have for Ahsoka. Technically, today is Ahsoka Tano Day. Now, it was observed this past Saturday at the parks. I think it was Saturday. It was either Saturday or Sunday. I didn't get to go. I'm working on weekends. But, I love this. What's really amazing is like one of my favorite quotes from Ahsoka is in the title of this podcast. I am no Jedi. And I'm basically watching the Clone Wars movie right now. And it just pops up. One of her very first lines when she's talking to Rex is that she is a Jedi. So it's interesting that starts off with her saying that she is a Jedi. And as she's leaving the Clone Wars, when we thought she was leaving for good, we did have her come back. Her saying that she is no Jedi. So kind of like bookends that, right? I just kind of didn't realize that one of her first few words was that she's basically stating that she is a Jedi. Got a couple of viewers jumping on, so hello there. How are you? But yeah, so love Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka has actually probably become my favorite One of my favorite Star Wars characters. I mean, I mean, I always gotta say the originals. The originals are gonna stick with me, right? I can't deny the fact that the original characters have a place as being my top favorite characters. Um, just changing my view just a little bit here because I want to go ahead and share one of the first concept arts of Ahsoka. Um, when we got kind of the announcement that she was going to be one of these new characters that we were going to see. So um, Dave Filoni, coming up with this character of Ahsoka, and again, a character that we've just grown to love and has spanned the Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, Tales of the Jedi, her own series, that being Ahsoka, and we're getting a season 2 of that as well. So just popping up all over the place, and who can't get enough of Ahsoka? We got books, comics with her in them as well, and just a fantastic character, and one of the greatest Force users of all time, I will have to say, because she kind of understood the balance a little bit better than everyone else, even before the Jedi really discovered that there was some imbalance there. Um, she got it. She got it. She got it. She left the Order because she saw the hypocrisy of the Jedi Order, and didn't want any part of it. And it saved her life because she wasn't around when everything kind of fell out. I mean, she was, but she wasn't involved with the Jedi tight enough where it caused her to get destroyed with so many others. The official announcement on January 29th, 2008 was on StarWars.com, and it was talking about the Clone Wars series, and how it was going to expand the Star Wars universe with plenty of surprises. And Lucasfilm then began offering a glimpse at some of those surprises during the annual Toy Fair events around the world. Now, as they were unveiling these different surprises that we would see in the Clone Wars animated series, um, they they unveiled some of the toys, the collectibles, including those from that TV series. Um, we got to look at many of the characters that would be returning, like Obi-Wan, Anakin, Yoda, and then we had this mysterious new Padawan named Ahsoka Tano. We found out that she was a Togruta, and that she was going to be a character that was very eager to prove herself, which obviously was right from the start, especially with that episode in the Clone Wars animated movie. I think that's what kind of just from the start, just the banter between her and Anakin, knowing how great Anakin was. I'm sure she had heard of the stories of Anakin Skywalker, so she did have to kind of put herself in that proving herself to be his Padawan, being worthy to be his Padawan, to the master of Anakin, which was a very bold Jedi Knight, among others, and stood out very much so. So he had grown that reputation. Uh, she We saw her with a lightsaber, very able to wield this lightsaber from the very beginning as a Padawan. It just became greater and greater, using dual lightsabers eventually, and that it became her style, as we came to know throughout her character development, and even as we know her today, and also became a great pilot. Um, very talented, kind of following in her master's footsteps in that way as well. So she was definitely a promising candidate to be a great Jedi Knight. But as we know, she did leave the Jedi Order. And at the time of the announcement, there wasn't really much to go off of, but there was much more to learn about this Ahsoka character and the role that she would play in the epic Clone Wars adventures and the Star Wars saga. And I really don't think that we knew that it was going to be as much as it is today. And who doesn't love Ahsoka? I don't think there's very many people out there that I've heard that have said too many negative things about Ahsoka Tano. But just fantastic character that Dave Filoni created, and I love that he came back to, you know, direct and create some of these stories for The Mandalorian, introducing her in live action in that way. And then again, we got the spin-off series of Ahsoka, Ahsoka season 2, and then however we are going to see her possibly tie back in to the Star Wars galaxy that we know, is yet to be seen. But love it. Love that character. This is one of the shirts that I purchased a while back. Actually, this is the first time I've actually worn this shirt. This is a Her Universe shirt, and it is got the script from that final Clone Wars episode, when right before she left. So yeah, super awesome. Love this shirt. I think that's just all from that episode, I believe. But it is the I Am No Jedi shirt, because it does have that, particularly on the shirt, circled that line. That was such a prominent line of hers, and probably one of the greatest episodes of all time, as far as Ahsoka is concerned. But I love going back and watching some of the older episodes, especially the Clone Wars animated movie. I think now it has a lot more weight to it than when I first watched it, because of how great Ahsoka became. And it's good to go back and relive the moments when we first got introduced to Ahsoka. So happy Ahsoka Tano Day, the actual Ahsoka Tano Day, which is today, January 29th, 2008, because it is the birth of Ahsoka Tano. So that is your Not Long Ago in This Galaxy. I do this segment every day on my YouTube channel, either live or a post. So continue to subscribe to this channel, and you will get a little bit of Star Wars history every day. Hit those notifications so that you will be able to know when I post those or go live talking about that Star Wars history. Speaking of Jedi and great Jedi, we love some playing as Jedi, right? I think everybody loves to kind of go play on screen, and The Force Unleashed was just one of the greatest games that came out where you could actually become a Jedi. And but there's been some amazing games that have come out that have done that, and some of them on platforms that were classics. And one of those games that I actually played on PlayStation, that has resurfaced, and we talked about this a little while ago. We knew that this was coming out, and it has actually dropped. And that would be the game Star Wars Episode 1, Jedi Power Battles. Jedi Power Battles um, is a fantastic game, and I loved playing this game. And it is now available for multiple platforms. I downloaded it last night on Xbox, started playing it, and the playability of it is just fantastic. The graphics have been upgraded a little bit. It it's very crisp and clean in the look. Very easy to play. I think it's a little bit easier to control than the original on PlayStation. And I forgot how kind of easy it is, this game, but it's so many power-ups. So many power-ups as you're going through the gameplay. But it's a lot of fun, and there are some new additives to the game, which is so great. I love it when they go back and do these games and remaster them and redo them, reboot them, because they're adding to them. They're adding content to them. They're adding playable characters, which is fantastic. So Star Wars Episode 1, Jedi Power Battles, has returned officially. So, you can play it together with a friend. Two-player mode basically puts them in the same gameplay at the same time. Get ready to wield those lightsabers. And it's a great classic side-scrolling adventure if you've never played it before. And it does, again, have new features, new characters, and it is available now. It's great, taking down battle droids. What's more fun than that? And Mace Windu, who was in the original, yet in the original, he didn't have a purple lightsaber. And this time you can play him with a purple lightsaber. So what's better than that? You gotta have Mace Windu's purple lightsaber. I don't know why he originally didn't have a purple lightsaber. Never looked up that story, but um, so the fight with Star Wars Episode One Jedi Power Battles. You can play this now. It's available on Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and PC via Steam. Again, all those platforms available now. I do have my Xbox. I've been playing on Xbox. It's great. Playability is fantastic. So it's only $20 on Xbox. So great addition to be able to download that and play that. Doesn't take up a lot of space because, again, it's an older style game. Doesn't have a lot of graphics to hold, but just fantastic. So much fun to go back and play that game. I loved it when it first came out, and I'm still loving it today. So a lot of fun there. So with Jedi Power Battles, moving on into some of the other great content that we've had in recent times. We know Bad Batch has finished, and we no longer have that story. And we've kind of wondered, what kind of extra stories we might get from these characters. Well, in Dark Horse comic form, we have the Bad Batch telling more stories, and one of them being ghost agents. And so we've gone through a couple of announcements with the first some of the issues that have been announced already, but just recently we have revealed issue number 4 has been revealed with a character that's returned to Bad Batch connections. Now we remember in Bad Batch season 3 how Ventress showed up, right? So was always curious about that and how that came to be. And we were just so excited to see that happen. I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't get more of Ventress in the Bad Batch. But this is kind of a backstory. And it seems like Ventress has had connections to the Bad Batch before, but they had never met. So kind of behind the scenes, Ventress already kind of knowing about the Bad Batch in some way or another in this story that is going to be released. So in this story, Asajj Ventress is scheming from the shadows. So the cover reveal is right here. This is again issue number 4 of Star Wars Ghost Agents, and Asajj as the Separatist assassin is returning here alongside bounty hunter Aura Singh, which is another fan favorite bounty hunter. Probably another one that we would love to see come back to live action at some point. There is stories out there, right? Whether it's true or not that she died before the events of Solo is something to be determined. I would think it would be great that she actually survived and we see her show up at some point. Or, maybe we go back and we tell some past stories and we do get to see her in live action in the past. So however that plays out, I would love to see Aura Singh come into live action again in a more of a speaking, intense role, because that character is very intriguing. But we do have Aura Singh in this comic, in this Clone Wars era comic, now with a story here. We also get there's a very close look at the miniseries connecting covers. The first 4 issues have connecting covers, and also there's a little bit of a preview from issue number 1 on StarWars.com if you're really curious. So we're getting a little bit of this story as it's going to be released in the near future. The Bad Batch, as we know, again, encountered Asajj Ventress for the first time on planet Pabu, but they kind of encountered her in a way without actually meeting her prior to that, and that's what this gets into. You can pre-order issue number 1 of Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, The Bad Batch, Ghost Agents now, or you can find it at your local comic book shop when it is released. Yeah, so this is we've gotten issues 1 through 4 kind of announced. So because this is the cover of issue number 4 here, which has all of our Bad Batch members returning, which is so fantastic. Tech, more stories with Tech. It was so sad to see Tech die in the Bad Batch. So it's great to be able to see that. But who knows what else is in store for some of these characters maybe in the future. Maybe we'll see the Bad Batch and Ventress meet up again, or the remaining members of the Bad Batch in some other form. We do have lots of characters from the Clone Wars still out there. I would think that they could do another spin-off at some point, with Rex and some of the remaining Bad Batch members, Omega, maybe Ventress coming into play. Who knows what's going to happen next with those fun characters? Maybe we'll get some additional animated Star Wars series news at Star Wars Celebration this year, right? Because we don't really have a series coming out for animation. We got some live action. We got Andor season 2. We got Ahsoka season 2. We got a lot of live action, but really nothing on the horizon for animation except for Young Jedi Adventures. So gotta see something coming back, because animation has done very well for Star Wars. So my predictions are at Star Wars Celebration we will get an announcement of a new series, even if it's just another Tales series. Or it could be a Tales and another series. We'll have to see. I also would love to see another series based on the New Republic timeline after Return of the Jedi. We got some comics coming out, some Marvel series coming out around that timeline as well. You know what? Why not use animation for that timeline as well? Would be fantastic. RJ from the Valley, thank you for joining this Space Oats podcast. Great to see you. Hope everything is doing well. But just, I don't know, what animated film, what timeline would you like to see as far as animation for Star Wars next? Would you like to revisit some of the characters that we've already revisited? Would you like something new? I personally could go pretty much anywhere. It would just be great to I just want another animated series. And I'm curious where they're going to go next. Love my glass. Tabuite. Always got to sport the Chandrila Starline glass, right? This is the Chandrila Starline glass. They've made versions of it. You can still get it out in Disneyland at Oga's Cantina, I believe. And also you can get it in the Hyperspace Lounge on the Wish, but no longer is it the CSL branded glass. But you know what? Chandrila Starline wasn't the only one that had that goblet. It's been canon. It's in Solo, a Star Wars story, as well as some other has had some other appearances out there. So has been other places in addition to the Halcyon Star Cruiser. And then, of course, as we know, as I talked about earlier, it is sold out there in California. Like I said, it is in Oga's. At least as far as I know, it's still going. They do have a drink that you can buy it with, or on the side. And again, like I said, it's also in the Hyperspace Lounge, but it does not have the CSL emblem. I believe on it. They've no longer done that. I think it's just the CSL symbol was on the bottom, under here. I don't want to tip it too much, but it's you can see it. But that's where the CSL insignia is. But the ones at Oga's and the ones in the Hyperspace Lounge do not have that. The Hyperspace Lounge just says Hyperspace Lounge underneath of it. And then I don't know what the Oga's ones has. So, but and then also I have my other one up there. I don't know if it's not in the picture. Yeah, it is. It's right there. Right there. That's the other one. And that's actually the one where you could have bought in the Chandrila collection. That's more the decorative one. It's a little bit smaller, and it has Chandrila Starline written on the glass on the side. It's a little bit thinner. It's not as high quality. It's not really meant to be used, I don't think. This is very thick thick glass, with a very thick rim. Um, so it's held up pretty good. I know some people have had some issues where it's come undone here, but is fixable. Hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon with mine. But last but not least, 8 of those. Holy mess. I wish I would honestly. I wish I would have bought more. I wish I would have bought more. You know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Thought we had a lot more time, right? Um, the final thing for tonight is, I love every year when it comes to into the springtime, we get a lot of new announcements with some cool merchandise and everything like that. And Disney has really kind of had this campaign going on for a while called Power of the Force. And We already kind of got some new announcements with Power of the Force this year, but the Power of the Force campaign, um, so many things. It's a really big year for Star Wars. We got Star Wars Celebration Japan this year. We got release of Andor season 2, the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, the 10th anniversary of Star Wars The Force Awakens. So Power of the Force kind of is like a kickoff campaign that usually goes a year long and basically has themed merchandise for some of our most favorite um, ships, characters, droids, lightsabers, all of that. So the first little announcement to kick off this campaign is we have a first look at a new Lego entry. And It's actually the 12th helmet in the collection run, which and the first one since 2023. So we kind of gone a year without having a Lego helmet. And This one is actually going to be available on Star Cruiser Day, as I call it, because it's March 1st. And you'll be able to get it at Target and Lego Star Wars or Lego stores. Um, so yeah, so it's a new new Lego Star Wars helmet. I'm going to go ahead and just show a real quick picture of it. You can see a little bit more on StarWars.com if you want to look a little bit more. And I'm sure on Lego Store's website, you can see a preview of it as well. But it's the AT-AT helmet. So the AT-AT Trooper, the AT-AT Driver Trooper helmet will be released March the 1st, or Star Cruiser Day, or Halcyon Day, whatever you want to say. Yeah, so love the AT-AT Trooper, one of my favorite troopers. They just were so amazing. But yeah, so if you're into the Lego Star Wars, the Lego helmet series, um, this one is coming out March 1st. I've never been a Lego fan. I love them, but the reason I have never gotten into Legos is because I just don't have the space. And I know it's one of those things I will just get sucked into, and I just don't have the space to put it all in. So, but that is going to be our first release for the Power of the Force campaign, and again, just so much more to come out this year. Kind of excited for maybe some Revenge of the Sith stuff. Would love to see some of that, so that would be really cool. We can probably expect Revenge of the Sith maybe to be re-released in theaters this year, maybe. Who knows? Maybe even Force Awakens for the 10th anniversary coming back to theaters. I don't know, that might be a little bit too short, but I would love to go see the Force Awakens again in the theaters. Yeah, just fantastic time for Star Wars. Can't wait to see what's going on at Celebration Japan this year. Yeah, I just got a notification from a friend of mine that might be hitting up a really cool party in Star Wars Celebration Japan. So really looking forward to that. It's coming so close. It's almost a little bit over 2 months away. We got about a week away before MegaCon here in Orlando, which is just fantastic. Countdown to that going, trying to get everything ready for that and find time to be able to go for a little bit at least. I know I won't be able to attend all the days, but yeah, just looking forward to that as well. So that is fantastic, right? It's always great for some amazing Star Wars content, and we always look forward to that. But it's sold. Oh, you said you did say it was sold out in California. Um, maybe. Interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of curious if it is still selling the glass out there in California. But like I said, if you go on the Disney Wish too, the Hyperspace Lounge is really really cool. Kind of has that Star Cruiser vibe to it, but just not as themed, not as immersive as the storytelling as you might want it to be. But it's still a good time. You can always find some great um, Star Wars fans, freaks and fans there, right? So much fun. So that is all the content I have tonight. It's kind of interesting when you don't have any like Star Wars stuff to review coming out right now. Nothing really coming out on Disney Plus. But nevertheless, there's always something great to look forward to with Star Wars. So just keeping on that news, just kind of just watching things, when things going to get released, and just excited for what come next, right? Thank you for some of you joining in tonight. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate some of the comments, and I love the feed off of that comment. So RJ, thank you for joining in. We had a couple others come in and view, and nobody said hi, but thank you all for joining in. Please like this video if you so choose to do so. Maybe we'll get some more people to visit us in the future. Next week is kind of the MegaCon week, right? So I don't know if I'll be going live next week. Kind of have to adjust my schedule around next week, so I may not be able to go live next week. So I might skip a day, depending on how late I get back from MegaCon on Thursday night. Maybe I'll do it Thursday night. I don't know. But we'll have to see. Maybe I'll just do a skip of a week and take the week off as I do that. I'll probably be posting a lot though on MegaCon or at MegaCon. So when I get there, to see what else is going on. Also, Mosh Isley next week as well. So I will be there, Star Warsing it up with some friends and fans of Mosh, and can't wait for that. That's always great. Good times. Empire Strikes Back themed this year. Mosh Strikes Back, coming to Orlando for the second time. So great friends put that show on. Thank the Maker podcast, as well as Princess and the Scoundrel and the Dano channel. Kind of getting that fun time together with Star Wars cosplay and emo music, and it's just a great time. If you've never been to one, highly recommend it. They usually do them around convention times in the various cities, and it's a blast. It'll be my third one, and I just love it to death. It's just great. Again, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching later. If you're watching this later, subscribe to this channel so you know when I'm going live. Hit those notifications. Join in for some conversations about Star Wars here on Space Oats Live. I am the Crucial Crew member again. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. Remember to do something Star Wars each and every day. Watch some Star Wars, listen to some Star Wars, read some Star Wars, play some Star Wars, do something Star Wars. Most importantly, whatever you are doing each and every day, remember, may the stars light your way. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time.